after the win yesterday. Good to get another one on board.
Yeah, it was. We expected a pretty hard match from Melbourne, and like Clarko said during the week, their good games are really good and their bad games are pretty bad, but they come out pretty hard. It was a tough contest, and it was good to get through with relatively unscathed and come out with 4 points.
Must have been good to have Cyril Rioli back in the team.
Yeah. I think we've missed him, and you could see from his impact yesterday. He's such a great player, great to watch, and great to have back in the team.
It'd be very pleasing for you guys now that you're consistently getting the job done against teams that you're expected to beat, I suppose.
Yeah, well, that's looking across the whole competition. You want to win the majority of those games, and then the real test is against the top 4 sides. And we've got a few games coming up that will test us, and we're hoping to win those ones as well.
Like 150 games after being rookied in 2001. Tell us a bit about the trip.
Yeah, it's been a long road. A few years on the rookie list back 11 years ago, and 150 this week. So I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good.
Just the ups and downs too. Sort of take us through a few of those moments.
Yeah,
it was tough, obviously coming off a rookie list to get to where you are now.
Yeah, there's been a lot. I actually got delisted after the second year and did another pre-season. Got picked up again. Been a few injuries. I missed pretty much a full season with a broken foot. So it's been good to be there through the ups and downs over the last decade with the coaching change and a lot of player changes as well. So it's good to have been through all of that.
What tells you there's some ups to come still?
I think this year just the depth in our team and the young guys coming through, the input they've had. We've got a great mix of young and old at the moment, and being able to play good footy with missing a couple of our top players shows that we've still got improvement coming up, and there's still some exciting times ahead.
Does it seem a long time since that premiership? Sort of obviously 3 years ago now, but does it seem that long?
It does. It seems like a long time ago. It's only 3 years, but a lot's happened since then. We missed the finals the following year, and to get back this year and be top 4 at the moment, a really good indication of how well we're going.
How do you think the team's travelling, just sort of expanding on that a little bit?
Well, pretty well. Like I said, we've got those injuries to blokes like Ruffy and Strats and Gilly, some major players in our team, but having the depth for blokes to come in and play their role and contribute to the team, and we're still having some good wins, so that's the main thing.
6-day break heading into a game over in Perth, will that affect your preparation a bit?
I think we'll just have a bit lighter week, focus on some recovery early in the week, next couple of days, get the bodies right, and head over there day early and see where we go from there.
I imagine you'll see a pretty different Fremantle than you saw about this time last year down in Launceston.
Yeah, well, we also had that game in the finals where we probably didn't come out hard enough, so we had a pretty tough game against them at the start of the year as well, and they've just come off a tight loss in the derby, so we expect them to come out pretty hard and looking for a good game.
They ended your season last year too, obviously. I think you talked about that earlier in the year, but you've got a chance to inflict some fair pain on them this week too, given where they're at on the ladder and with the teams that are bunching up behind them. I imagine it's a pretty important one for you in those sort of regards too. Yeah,
well, without pumping out too much, we'll be looking to go over there and just do the same as we did this week, and just have everyone contributing and get 4 quarters. Just come out and start the game really well and go from there.
Did you watch any of the derby yesterday? Was it good to see Freo sort of ashing and crashing around with West Coast, make it a bit easier for you guys this week?
Yeah, I didn't get to see any of it personally. We'll probably look at a bit of it today and go through a few things later on today.
Do you remember any milestone matches, Michael, that you played in for other players or anything?
Not too sure. I remember my 100th. I tore my hammy pretty early in the game, missed out on that, so that wasn't too good. But I think there's been a few milestone games that the boys get pretty pumped up about and come out and play well.
What does 150 mean to you? Is it a life member? Do you get life membership at the club?
Yeah, I think that's life member.
So what does all that mean to you, given where you come from?
Yeah, it's been a hard road, so it means a lot getting the opportunity to play at this club and then sticking with me for all that time. So I'm proud to be here, and I'll have a good crack this weekend.
So Mark Williams is retired today, so I don't know whether you know that, but
No, I haven't
announced his retirement today.
Haven't heard that.
I suppose that gives a bit of perspective too as to how long it lasts, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, me and Mark were in the same year when we came to Hawthorn, so yeah, that's I'll have a look at that and maybe wish him all the best.
How was he here when he was a player? How do you remember him?
He was pretty freaky. He had some abilities a bit like Lance Franklin or Cyril, a bit of both of them. He could win the game off his own boot, so he was pretty valuable to us in the time that he spent here.
I think without injuries, you probably would have gone close to 150. Does that kind of play in your mind? Do you think, gee, I'm lucky I haven't suffered injuries like that?
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's a bit of a game of luck. You play with some players that might string together 200 games in a row without missing, and other guys play a couple and are plagued by injuries for the rest of their career. So I feel lucky to make it to 150. I've had a few injuries, but I managed to get through this far.
Just the funeral last week of Alan Jeans, did that go through your mind during the game at the weekend?
I think at the start a bit when we lined up. I mean, we haven't had a lot to do with Alan Jeans. He's spoken to the boys a few times in the past few years, but at the funeral, getting to know him even better in more depth, some of the stories that were told about him, it was a bit inspiring. So I'm sure some of the boys took something out of that.
The timing of your second bye last week, Michael, has that come at a good time just to freshen you up and give you a good run heading into the finals?
Yeah, I think both our byes were slotted in there pretty well for us, having two evenly spaced out byes. So with having that last one with 8 weeks to go is pretty good for us leading into the finals.